Yo, what's going on guys, it's Cynical and welcome back to another video. Today for you guys, I wanted to talk about something pretty interesting to do with Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories, and that is that there is in fact a hidden difficulty mode in this game. Yes, a fourth difficulty mode. Now, as we are all used to in the current day and age for Kingdom Hearts, there are generally 4 difficulty modes: beginner, standard, proud, and critical. Critical didn't come forth for the Kingdom Hearts series until Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix, previous to which both Kingdom Hearts 1 as well as Rechain of Memories only had proud mode as its hardest. But it would seem as if Square Enix were planning on Rechain to have a 4th difficulty mode not known as critical mode, but rather extreme mode. Now you might be wondering, how exactly do you activate this? Now you don't do it by normal means. There's not some kind of hidden cheat code or special thing that you have to do in the game in order to unlock this difficulty mode. It's only accessible via save file editing. In order to pull this off, you will need a PlayStation 4 save file editor program known as Save Wizard. Now the unfortunate thing about this is a paid program. There is unfortunately no free option here. On top of that too, you will also need Xanamo's Kingdom Hearts save file editor. Now I'm not going to give you guys a rundown as to exactly how you do this, a tutorial of sorts, but what I will say is when accessing Xanamo's Kingdom Hearts save file editor, you can change the current difficulty on your Rechain save file to that of extreme mode. Now no, this isn't a mod, this is officially within the game's files. Now don't panic too much, because really you aren't missing out on too much, as it would seem that extreme mode doesn't really do anything in the ways of giving you a harder difficulty. Now what I will say is I have mucked around a little bit on extreme mode, both with a completed save file and a fresh save file, so that I am obviously able to compare the proud mode experience to that of the extreme mode experience. I was hoping that extreme mode would come with a host of new things in the sense of upping the difficulty, like obviously to be expected, increased enemy damage, higher enemy attack card values. In case you guys don't know, enemies have a preset max card value, so it would have been nice to actually get a difficulty that raises that base card max value to something even higher. Just to give you an example, the Shadow Heartless can't play a card higher than 1, the Red Nocturne can't play a card higher than 4, as well as that the frequency in which enemies attack. I rather came across quite an interesting result, because as it would seem, extreme mode isn't so extreme, but rather it seems like it is slightly, not by much, but slightly actually easier than that of proud mode. If we compare these two screenshots right here of proud mode to that of extreme mode, the damage value seems to be slightly higher on that of proud mode. Obviously, I'm being attacked by the same enemy, Red Nocturne, the card value is 1, yet the damage seems to be just slightly higher for proud mode. Now, I wasn't left in a total state of disappointment by any means, because I didn't expect this difficulty mode to be completely fleshed out. After all, it is one that never made its way into the final version. This just essentially means that at some point, yes, Square Enix were thinking about putting a 4th difficulty mode into Rechain of Memories, something that honestly I would actually love to see. While proud mode does give you a pretty good challenge, and yes, back when I was first getting into Rechain of Memories, this was a pretty tough cookie to bite. I gotta say man, like, proud mode is pretty easy breezy once you get the Rechain of Memories gameplay system down, and all of the things that I was talking about before in what I would expect for an extreme mode is something that I would really like to see for Rechain of Memories. Perhaps now that the game is available on PC, something along the lines of a community-made difficulty mod could be a possibility, to have enemies that can now play higher cards and do more damage. What I find really interesting about this though is there is an official description for this difficulty. If we go down to the settings menu and hover over extreme mode, the description reads, "Both Sora and enemies are at their strongest from the start in this mode." When looking at proud mode's description, it just simply reads, "The enemies are tough in this mode." That's enough to say right there that, yeah, there was going to be an extreme mode in the game at some point Also, too, this will appear in the save menu when you do save with the extreme mode adjustment to the save file. Now, I was trying to do a little bit of research on extreme mode before actually diving into it for myself and experimenting to see if there are any changes, and honestly, I can't really find much. There are a couple of Reddit posts with people discussing this, and there have been some claims with people saying that there is a noticeable spike in difficulty, with enemies essentially hitting the same amount of damage as they would in Castle Oblivion right at the end of the game. Also, it seems that enemies play higher cards, but honestly speaking, that is just simply not true. That's probably what the adjustment would have been for extreme mode if it was properly implemented, due to the official description of which in the settings menu. Yeah, it just seems like this is in the files, but there aren't any adjustments that are made to the file within itself when you actually alter your save file to extreme mode. So of course, it seems like this was in the planning phase, but actual adjustments were never made. Although I did say that it doesn't seem like the frequency in which enemies attack has been changed, it's one thing that I was sort of thinking may have been changed. This seems to kind of be RNG most of the time, so it's really honestly too hard to tell, but I had the feeling enemies were drawing cards a lot quicker than they usually would in Proud mode, but again, I just can't confirm this, it's honestly too hard to tell. Now, remember what I said, the very first time we got a 4th difficulty mode was for Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix, and when Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix first released in Japan, it was of course bundled with Rechain of Memories. So it seems like because Square Enix at the time had already created a 4th difficulty mode for KH2, and that Rechain released alongside of it, they were probably thinking, why not put a 4th difficulty mode in this game as well? Honestly, it's pretty unfortunate. It's something I would really love to see. However guys, that's all for today. It's something very interesting that I thought I'd bring to your guys' attention. I know not a lot of people really know about this, mainly because I know there's not overly too much interest surrounding Chain of Memories. I'm gonna be real with you guys, it's a game that I've honestly warmed up to so much over the past few years. Learning its mechanics more and more has really made me come to appreciate COM so much more. It really used to be one of my most hated Kingdom Hearts games, if not my most hated Kingdom Hearts game. But to be fair, I think it's actually pretty bumping. Square Enix just absolutely nailed that whole Kingdom Hearts formula mixed in with a card combat system. However guys, that's all for today. Be sure to leave your thoughts and opinions in the comments section down below. Until next time guys, I'll catch you later. Peace.